Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. Stand up for your country. Busy news day. We'll have Donald Trump Jr. here. He's got a new project. We'll talk some politics with him. That's coming up shortly. Now, last night in my commentary, I said the U.S. needs a course correction. So I didn't get into specifics about that, and I got a bunch of mail, which shows our listeners and viewers are very alert, saying, well, what, O'Reilly, exactly is the course correction? And that is an excellent question, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So we start with President President Biden. That was a fraudulent slip on Obama. President Biden being the most leftist president in history. So a second would be FDR, because he had to expand the federal government to get us out of the Great Depression. And then we had World War II. So the federal government had an enormous amount of power. And FDR did a lot of public works, as you know, and on and on. But his philosophy, Roosevelt's philosophy, was not in line with the progressive movement today, or communism or socialism. He's a big government guy, no doubt about it. But Biden, and I don't even know what his thought process is, because I don't think he has one at this point in his life, is basically doing what his progressive handlers are telling him to do. And that is veering the country to the left in a fairly significant way. That's why we need a course correction. We don't want to be a left-wing country like the Scandinavian countries or even France. I mean, you don't want to govern that way, because that robs people of incentives. You know, the American dream is built on hard work and trying to build yourself up in a competitive society. That's not what the leftist societies do. They guarantee you an outcome, paltry outcome, okay? But you do what they say. That's socialism. Okay, so number one, we need a balanced budget amendment. Now, what is that? It's basically Congress saying we are not going to go over a certain amount, a percentage, 10%, 15, whatever, in our budgetary yearly expenditures. You're not going to get an exact balanced budget amendment, but you can limit it, limit the spending to this percentage over what we take in, we the federal government. Always going to have emergency funds that you have. Say China invades Taiwan. It's going to cost us billions, maybe $1 trillion if they do that. So you got to have that built in. But we need to stop the insane spending here. And just as an example of the insane spending, in his first 2 years, Joe Biden's administration has spent $6.2 trillion that we didn't have. That's unfunded. 6.2 trillion. And you go, oh, COVID, oh, COVID. Well, Donald Trump in 4 years spent a colossal 7.8 trillion. And that's a big number, 7.8, but that's over 4 years. Biden's 6.2 over 2. And President Trump said, well, I had to rebuild the military, and I had to, get us out of this economic funk, and I had to cut taxes in order to do that. Every president has excuses, and some of them are valid, for the way he handles his administration. Biden's excuse is he doesn't care. I mean, there's another insane bill that we'll get to tomorrow. I don't have time for it tonight. Another colossal spending, ridiculous thing. I mean, just keep in mind one thing. $3 million taxpayer dollars for a jogging path in Georgia named after Michelle Obama. No. The fact that that would be in the omnibus bill is insulting to all of us. Stop. First course correction, balanced budget amendment. Okay. Second course correction is a federal law passed by Congress, signed by the president, banning equity in hiring or school admissions, because all Americans are equal under the law. That's what the Constitution says. So we're all equal under the law. You can't have equity which Biden is promoted all day long, okay, where one group, a selected group, or groups with an S, get preferential economic and educational treatment. That's against the Constitution. Well, let's put it in law, okay? No more equity. If you want to help certain groups that are underperforming, that's fine. Do the mentoring program, Brother's Keeper, all of that is good. But you don't force employers or schools to impose preferences. That's what equity is. It's wrong. That's number 2. Number 3, term limits. It's never going to happen while the Democrats control any body, okay, but it's needed in this country. We got too many corrupt politicians sitting in there forever. Number 4, federal laws that say if states do not enforce immigration law or any other law, they get no federal aid at all. None. That'll put the sanctuary movement to bed. None. Not a penny goes to California, New York, Massachusetts, and the other sanctuary states. Nothing. You don't enforce federal law. Again, federal law is passed by Congress, signed by a president. You get no federal funds. That would be huge. Huge. You can't do it on a state basis, which is why we have this crazy crime problem, because DAs in Chicago and New York and San Francisco and LA won't enforce the law. The states are the states. But feds can say, no taxpayer money to you, Massachusetts, as long as you're a sanctuary state. Yeah, you see how fast Massachusetts got out of that. Okay, next, new immigration laws, fair laws. I'm for the DACA thing. I think if a kid was dragged here as a baby, a small kid, by his parents who were irresponsible and crossed into this country illegally, that kid is not responsible. And he's here and she's here and they're ingrained in the system. You give them a pathway, but not blanket amnesty. No. And you enforce the law and you build a wall. New immigration laws. And you make it easier for legal people to get here. You take more. And I take refugees and I give asylum status, but you do it in a right way or you're disqualified forever. Forever. If you're a foreign national and you don't apply for asylum the right way and you get caught, you can never come here. That's part of the new immigration law. Next one, new federal agency, brand new, not attached to the Justice Department or the Federal Elections Commission, to investigate all federal election complaints, because many Americans have lost faith in our election system. Okay? So with a brand new agency, if there's a state that has been accused of not counting the votes properly in a national election, that agency immediately goes in. But it can't be attached to the FBI or the Justice Department because that's political. Okay? This new agency might devolve into that, but give it a shot. Okay? And finally, in the course correction, we need to have guidelines, federal guidelines on Americans suing the federal government, okay, for censorship, lack of due process, and bias in the workplace. Say you get fired because you're black, okay? That should be a federal beef, and you should be able to sue whoever fired you in federal court, not state court. Okay? So let's be fair about this. So those are the course corrections that I would immediately get into motion. There are others, but all of those are within our Constitution. Okay? They're all not hard to pass. There won't be any court cases at the Supreme Court level about them. We already have a great Constitution in place, but we're ignoring it. We're ignoring it. And that's why this nation is tottering on the edge of anarchy in some places. We have anarchy. So anyway, I'm glad you guys wrote me, and if you are concierge or premium members on BillO'Reilly.com, you can download what I just told you. which is why it's important to sign up for a membership. We have transcripts that you can download. You'll have it. Boom. You can refer to it anytime you want to refer to it. You can spread it around to your friends. Okay, that's the course correction that we need. I thought a lot about this. All right, when I say stand up for your country, part of standing up for your country is when it's in trouble, which it is now, getting it right back. Okay, Biden is back, or he's on his way, and I don't know what that was all about in Mexico City. I got a soundbite for you. So maybe you can tell me, after you listen to the soundbite from the president, what this meeting with Trudeau and Obrador and Biden was all about. Roll the tape.
So there's much we can do, much we have to talk about, and I'm looking forward to being able to do it because I'm confident. I'm confident we can get it done. And I'm confident we're at one of those moments of a real change in the direction.
Get what done? What are you talking about? Nobody knows what he's talking about. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, there's so much more we have to talk. What? What are you doing? Is it fentanyl? Is it 6 million foreign nationals on your watch in here? What is it? We are confident we can. Talk about BS. All right, they found some classified documents in the Penn Center in Washington, D.C., which is associated with the University of Pennsylvania. I'm going to hold off on this story because I don't have all the info yet. But it's like the Mar-a-Lago story. Biden apparently took classified information when he was vice president out of the vice president's office and brought it to his private Penn Center. But I'm going to wait here. Now, there's already a guy named Richard Sauber appointed to investigate. The actual documents are far less than the Trump situation, but come on. You know, we said this at the very beginning that every president does this kind of thing. Not on purpose. They just don't know what's in the boxes. But let me see exactly what it is so I can do a fair analysis. Donald Trump, he doesn't wait. Here's what he said about it. Quote, when is the FBI going to raid the many homes of Joe Biden, perhaps even the White House? These documents were definitely not declassified. And that was yesterday at 6:44 p.m. on Truth Social. Anyway, this makes it very difficult to continue this document charade for the Justice Department. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Interest rates skyrocketing. We all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So, you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers, are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Let's go to the mail. George Concierge, remember, which means George gets direct access to me. Any problem George has, you can send it to me. Very private. No one will ever know, and I'll try to help George out with it. George says, Joe Biden has the nerve to ask while at the border if I could wave a magic wand and fix it, what would I do? Maybe he puts it back like he found it. Very astute. All he had to do is go back to the Remain in Mexico policy that Trump had, and all of this chaos would stop. Tony D., College Point, New York. Hey, Bill, the best concession out of Kevin McCarthy was term limits. I believe without term limits, the USA will fall. Term limits aren't going to happen now, but you try to sell it to the American people. That's what you try to do. You have to build up to it, but it's not. Democrats are never going to do that now. could change. Tim Smith, Arroyo Grande, California. I hope you're not getting inundated with the rain out there. Boy. Bill, been thinking about term limits. The problem is that the bureaucracy has no limits. Take Fauci and the FBI. Being questioned by the Senate, they look at the Senate with defiance and tell them they won't answer the questions because nobody holds them accountable. But term limits would not affect a guy like Tony Fauci, who works for the CDC or the National Institute of Health. That wouldn't affect him. Just elected people. Gary Burke, Aurora, Illinois. Boebert and Gates are rock stars. Nobody remember this? You said, Bill, but folks aren't even following it. They will both get reelected. Boebert and Gates are rock stars in a very, very small sliver of America. Okay? That's all I can tell you. Maybe I'm wrong, but what they did, they will never have the respect of their colleagues in a House, I can tell you that. Ever. Wayne Schmidt, Olathe, Kansas. Bill, typically the last omnibus bill passed that had tons of wasteful spending in it. I'd like to see a rule for Congress pass a bill that every line of the bill has to have a separate vote. Then you never get any bills passed. It would take so long. It would be impossible. Couldn't do it. Dennis Lahiff, Laurel, Delaware. Bill, your piece today says that Biden took an oath in office. He's talking about my column, all right? My column on BillO'Reilly.com. That Biden took an oath at his inauguration to uphold the laws of the United States. The presidential oath omits that. It is, I do solemnly swear to affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and will best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Dennis. The Constitution of the United States says that Congress will pass laws and the President must sign them. Once those laws are passed and signed by the President, they cannot be defied by another president. So the oath of office says I have to uphold the Constitution. Past laws are part of the Constitution. Biden's ignoring immigration law. It's a violation. Okay. No spin mugs. Put them on up there. Just got them. All right. Beautiful. We have the Stand Up for Your Country mugs. They almost sold out. I think they're reordered, but we just got these in. You'll love them. And don't forget, on Sunday, Killing the Legends, number 13 on the New York Times list. On Sunday. It's been out since September. It's January. Elvis's birthday was Sunday. And I hope you consider the book. I think you'll like it. Word of the day, do not be pertinacious. P-E-R-T, pert, I-N-A-C-I-O-U-S. Do not be pertinacious. Back with a final thought in a moment. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. Many timeshare owners are upset that their yearly dues continue to increase. And the annual fees never stop, even after you quit using the property. So if you are stuck in a timeshare, you're not alone. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and hundreds of 5-star testimonials, family-owned Lone Star Transfer is the only company you can trust, guaranteeing the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Lone Star Transfer's customer service is second to none. They will make your experience a pleasant one, done legally, ethically, and quickly. They have 15 years of experience in the timeshare disposal business and are here to help you. So start the new year off right with a free, no-obligation consultation. Call 855-551-7066 or go to LoneStarTransfer.com. 855-551-7066. Okay, here is the final thought of the day. It's brief. Georgia beat TCU 65-7 last night in the championship college football game. I felt sorry for TCU. They were overmatched. Georgia much stronger. And I didn't watch the whole game because I felt so sorry for Texas Christian University. They did their best. Things like that happen in life. We all get crushed. And now you got to bounce back. I didn't think Georgia rubbed it in. They played their almost their whole team. They knew they were better. I mean, at halftime, everybody knew the game was over. But the lesson is we all get crushed, all of us, in life. And you got to pick yourself up. You heard this before, but it's really important. When you get crushed, no matter what it is, take a deep breath and you fight your way back. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. I want to tell you about Ghostbed. Ghostbed has been designing high-quality sleep products for more than 2 decades with more than 50,000 positive customer reviews. Wow. Ghostbed has luxury mattresses and premium sheets that get softer with every wash. Their mattresses have a cooling feature. Each is made with their signature Ghost Ice fabric, perfect for hot sleepers. Get fast and free shipping, plus a 101-night sleep trial with free returns. Trying their mattress is truly risk-free. So please go online, take their quiz to find out the ideal mattress for your sleeping style. Get 30% off Ghostbed mattresses plus 2 free luxury pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their award-winning adjustable base. Use promo code BILL at ghostbed.com/bill to take advantage of this fabulous offer. That's ghostbed.com/bill, promo code BILL.